The night Emily discovered her husband's betrayal was a night she would never forget. For years, she had believed in the sanctity of their marriage, in the promises whispered late at night, in the smiles exchanged over morning coffee, in the laughter shared during family dinners. But everything came crashing down when she stumbled upon a series of messages on his phone. Messages that shattered her heart into pieces she wasn't sure could ever be put back together. Her husband, Mark, wasn't just straying, he was fully invested in another woman. The messages were intimate, filled with promises of a future together, laced with the kind of words he hadn't said to Emily in years. Her hands trembled as she scrolled through, tears stinging her eyes, her chest tightening as if someone had wrapped a vice around her heart. She wanted to scream, to confront him immediately, but instead she closed the phone and placed it back exactly where she found it. That night, she lay awake beside him, listening to the steady rhythm of his breath, wondering how long he had been lying to her, how many moments of their marriage had been tainted with deceit. The next morning, Emily's world felt different. The house seemed colder, his smile faker, his words hollow. She played along, masking her emotions, because now she had a new mission. Revenge. Not just revenge for herself, but for every year she had poured into the marriage, for every sacrifice she had made, for every dream she had put on hold so Mark could build his career. She would make him regret ever thinking he could replace her. Emily was smart. She knew that storming out or lashing at him immediately would only give him power. Instead, she began to gather evidence quietly, meticulously. Every message, every email, every call log she could uncover. She stored it away safely. She contacted a lawyer without his knowledge, carefully building her case. The lawyer, impressed with her preparation, assured her that Mark was about to face the battle of his life. But revenge, Emily thought, wasn't just about court. It was about breaking him in every way possible. She started by playing the perfect wife, masking her hurt behind a serene smile. Mark had no idea she knew. He continued his affair, believing he was clever, believing Emily was blind. But she wasn't blind. She was calculating. She began controlling finances quietly. Emily had always managed their household accounts, but now she shifted funds strategically, rerouting payments, moving assets into accounts under her name. She did it all legally, with the advice of her lawyer, leaving no trace of wrongdoing, but ensuring that when the storm finally hit, she would be standing strong while Mark drowned. At home, she played the role of the doting wife. She cooked his favorite meals, laughed at his jokes, and even encouraged him to take boys' nights out. Every time he left, she documented where he went and with whom, ensuring she had undeniable proof of his infidelity. She smiled, kissed him goodnight, and whispered sweet words, all while sharpening the knife of betrayal behind her back. Weeks turned into months, and Mark's arrogance grew. He became careless. He spent nights away, made excuses that even a child could see through, and flaunted his relationship with the other woman more openly. Emily's lawyer told her it was time to strike. The confrontation was not a shouting match. It wasn't a scene of chaos. Instead, it was cold, calculated, and devastating. One evening, she placed a thick folder on the dining table, filled with every piece of evidence she had collected. Mark walked in, smiling as though life were perfect, only for his face to drain of color when he saw the contents. "What's this?" he asked, his voice trembling. "Proof," Emily said calmly. "Proof of every lie, every betrayal, every moment you thought you were clever enough to deceive me." Mark stammered, trying to deny, trying to twist the narrative, but the evidence was undeniable. He was caught, trapped in a web of his own making. But Emily wasn't done. She slid another envelope across the table. "Divorce papers." "You'll sign these," she said firmly. "And you'll do it my way, or I'll make sure everyone sees just how pathetic you really are." The days that followed were a nightmare for Mark. Emily's lawyer tore him apart in court. The judge, appalled by his behavior and the mountain of evidence, ruled heavily in Emily's favor. She walked away with the house, the majority of their assets, and financial support that would keep her comfortable for life. Mark, stripped of his wealth and reputation, was left with nothing but the woman he thought was his future, a woman who quickly lost interest when the money dried up. But Emily's revenge didn't stop there. She knew Mark valued his career and his image above all else. With careful precision, she leaked just enough of his story to colleagues and acquaintances. Whispers spread like wildfire. His betrayal became public knowledge, his reputation tarnished beyond repair. Promotions slipped away, friendships dissolved, and even his family turned against him. Emily, meanwhile, rebuilt her life with quiet strength. She started a business with the settlement money, pouring her energy into something that was hers and hers alone. She found freedom in her independence, joy in her resilience, and power in the knowledge that she had won. Sometimes, late at night, she would think back to the woman she had been before all of this, the trusting wife who believed in forever. That woman was gone. In her place stood someone stronger, sharper, and unbreakable. Mark's betrayal had wounded her deeply, but her revenge had healed her in a way nothing else could. One afternoon, months later, she ran into Mark by chance. He looked older, tired, beaten down by life. His once confident smile was gone, replaced by bitterness and regret. He tried to speak to her, to perhaps seek forgiveness, but Emily only smiled. "You did me a favor," she said softly, her eyes cold. "You showed me who you really are, and I made sure you paid the price." With that, she walked away, her head held high, leaving him standing alone, drowning in the ruins of the life he had destroyed with his own hands. Emily had won, and for her, that was enough. The night Emily discovered her husband's 35-year-old husband had been cheating on her for 9 months with a 21-year-old girl who worked at their local grocery store. Their daughter was 6 years old. For the past 2 weeks, she had suspected something was going on between Mark and Mia, a cashier at the grocery store where they did most of their shopping. She had found love letters in his jacket, and her gut feeling told her that there was more to it than just a simple friendship. But it wasn't until one evening when she came home early from work that she caught them red-handed. She had been working late in the office and was running errands around town before heading straight home. She had a key, so she let herself in and started unpacking her things on the kitchen counter. As she rummaged through her purse, she heard the shower turn on upstairs. It was unusual for Mark to take a shower at this time of day, but she didn't think much of it. He must have been exhausted from work, she thought. As she made her way into the living room, she noticed that the TV was on. Mark always turned the TV off when he left the house. She walked over to the TV and saw that it was tuned to a local news channel. Just then, the front door opened and Mark walked in. He was alone. "Where were you?" she asked, surprised that he was back so soon. "I just came straight home after work," he said, kissing her on the cheek. His behavior seemed odd to her. Usually, he would greet her with a big smile and tell her all about his day. But tonight he was unusually quiet. She went to the bedroom to get changed, while Mark sat down on the couch and started flipping through channels. She couldn't help but notice that he was acting strangely. He kept getting up and walking around restlessly, and every time she tried to talk to him, he would change the subject. She decided to confront him. "What are you hiding from me?" she asked. "There's something going on that you're not telling me," she said. She could feel the tears welling up in her eyes. "I know about Mia," she said. "I found your jacket with the love letters in it." Mark looked up in shock. "How did you find my jacket?" "I thought I hid it," he said. "Why are you here?" "You should be at work," he added, trying to sound angry. But Emily could see right through him. "I came home early because I wanted to surprise you," she said. Her voice was shaking. "And what did I find? You and that girl, Mia. What have you done?" He got up from the couch and started pacing the floor. "I'm sorry, Emily. I never meant for this to happen," he said. I know you're upset, but we need to talk about this calmly. Calmly? How can you ask me to be calm? You've been cheating on me for 9 months, she said. With a girl half your age, she added, disgusted. It means nothing to me, he said, his voice breaking. I'm sorry, he repeated. I don't want a divorce, Emily. I love you. She threw the letter on the ground. Don't you dare lie to me. You don't love me. If you did, you wouldn't have been seeing that girl behind my back, she said. I was a fool, he said. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Let's forget this ever happened, he pleaded. But she couldn't even look at him. She didn't want to hear his lies. Get out, she said. I don't ever want to see you again. He tried to grab her, but she pushed him away. Get away from me, she screamed. He left the house that night, defeated. But little did he know that Emily had already called her sister and told her everything. As she packed her things, she knew that she had made the right decision. It was over. She was finally free from the chains of deceit and betrayal.